So guys, I'm super happy today. Going to be meeting with my professor, best friend, my mentor, and just overall good guy, Mr. Professor Johnny Faria. But the reason why I wanted to make sure we have this time today to chat was I've noticed, well, not just noticed, I know for a fact that for me, I'm not very like vocal or very public about my life. And as I started making this content and talking about like, oh, I'm a gym owner, like I have Alliance San Diego, Alliance Chula Vista, this and that. Like I started to realize that maybe for those of you that don't know me, or even for those that do know me, may think like it's because of me. And the reality is it's not because of me. It's because of him. And that's the whole point of this video, is to like describe what our relationship is, but also describe how we work together. And hopefully some of you that are looking at this video can see that, wow, it is possible to, one, have a partner. It's possible to have a gym and an academy that maybe isn't like going great in the beginning, or doesn't hit that potential, can hit that potential with the right partnership. And so super happy. Thank you so much for meeting with me today, Professor Faria.
Was good to hang out with you.
Definitely. So again, it's a very casual conversation. Like I just want to kind of open the floor up. Like for Faria, I wanted to ask like what when we first started partnering, and I don't know if you remember the day that we went and had a burger at Rocky's, but that was where we decided to become a partner, right? That same day I dislocated my shoulder earlier in the day. So I was at the burger joint with a dislocated shoulder, but I was like,
But that was before we looked for the place in La Jolla, right?
yes, that's true. So like, how did we become partners? Like, how did that start?
Well, Jiu-Jitsu brought us together, first of all, I met Bob at my other school, that was over 10 years ago, I believe.
Yeah.
If that school have been 9, so over 10 years ago, maybe 12, I don't know, something around that. I used to train a lot with Bobby, we used to do a lot of private training together. And to be honest with you, I was in another team, different times. And I left, a lot of things happened between that time. And Bobby, I had no gym at the time, and Bobby was doing privates with me at my garage at my house. And man, I was to be honest with you, I was a little lost at the time, lost and scared. Because, first of all, I sold my gym. So I had another small one in Del Mar, but I was like, man, I need to open another gym, but I didn't have enough money at the time, and I remember it was yesterday, and I was like, man, how am I gonna get this money? I was thinking about a lot of business plans to show and and then I had the private with Bob at my garage, and then I was like, bro, I have this opportunity to open this gym. That was before we become partners, and then I was like, I made a big speech about, bro, I'm not even finished to tell him. He's like, no, of course. How much do you need? Was straight up like that. I was like, what? I could not believe at the time, So I said, man, I need that money to open the gym, but I'm gonna do what I can to pay you back. But I don't have. He didn't ask any questions from me. He just said, how much do you need? I bring the money for you tomorrow. No questions asked. And I was like, holy shit, we are friends already, but we're not like we are today. You know what I mean? And it was, it was pretty cool because, I talked to other people that are closer friends with me, and they have how to help me at the time, and nobody did it. And this guy, without no questions asked, right off the bat, next day he came like a fucking package of money, cash. He's like, right here, brother.
To be fair, that's all I had. It wasn't like I had the extra money. I was a blue belt at the time, right? We're training in your garage. I think we had your mats stacked or whatever, and then when we would train, we had to put them down.
Down on the ground.
Yeah, it wasn't a little bit of money, but it wasn't it wasn't a ton of money, but it was pretty much like all I had, you know, and it was like a loan at the time.
Yeah, but no, he believed in me, you know, like he did believe.
That was just a loan, right? We weren't partners yet.
No, you know, partners, yeah. So I'm going back in time, you know.
Then how did that progress?
And then, you know, like I ended up opening the gym, you know what I mean? Like I was also was scared because, man, I used to pay 3,000 rent with a partner. And then I went to this place, 6,000 square feet, $10,000 a month rent. And then I was like, bro, I don't know. He's like, no, bro, do it. You know, don't worry. It's gonna, you know. He gave me a lot of advice at the time. And I was like, okay, fuck it, you know. Let's open, you know. And then I opened up, you know, like, you know, we still train together. Bob almost went in a different way. Because it was fun, you know, I totally understand, you know, it's, you know, like if you have a gym close to your home, you know, and if you're busy sometimes, you know, like if you have to drive like an hour, 30 minutes, gets a little on the way, you know. And then I ended up opening up the school, you know, like I left my old team. I opened up like Alliance San Diego, you know. I think like after like a couple years, you know, already on business. Gym was going well, you know, like I was happy, you know, like I was not looking for partner with nobody. I had a bad experience with
Already had a partner.
yeah, I had a partner before, and was like wasn't like a happy marriage. I mean, like, so I was okay. And then Bobby came up to me, it's like, man, let's open another gym together. That was like, okay, let's see, let's start to look, let's, you know, put on the paper. And then we start to look around, you know, we saw a bunch of places. We almost got a place in La Jolla. It was a bank. It was pretty cool. It's kind of like, it was a safe, you know. It was a pretty cool place.
And those that don't know, sorry, La Jolla is like a super high-end upscale area, part of San Diego, like right near the beach. And the Alliance San Diego that we have now together is like, I wouldn't say industrial, but it's a little bit more inland, you know, by the military base, whatever. So like we were looking, you know, in a completely different demographic at the time.
So really, really, really nice place. It was pretty cool, you know, like, but it was really nice. But also, you know, the place was really nice, but man, to park in La Jolla is a pain in the ass, you know, like don't have place to park. And then we saw, and then we almost did it, to be honest with you, you know. And then Bob came to me and said, man, instead of opening up another one school, another one, what about if I become partners with you in that school?
In your existing gym.
In my existing gym. Okay. I was like, man, I don't know, you know. I don't know about that, you know, like I'm
so hesitant.
You know, like no, you know, like I was the gym was going okay, you know, like we talk about it, you know. And then Bobby, you know, like I trust this guy 100%, you know what I mean? Like I see where he started and I see where he is today, you know what I mean? Like and I know how much he worked for it, you know what I mean? Like I think I'm gonna let he talk about his story, but you know, like I know Bobby, you know what I mean? Like and I trust the guy 100%. So he's like, man, let's get this gym to where we want, you know. Let's get this gym to, man, like be like the best gym in San Diego. And then after here, we start to, you know, open other schools, you know. And then like I wasn't hesitating because of Bob. I was just hesitating because I had like a bad experience before, you know what I mean? Like, but we talk, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, man, let's fucking do it.
Tell me, like, I don't mean to like interrupt you, brother, but like I'm totally curious. Like, what was again? This is for people who maybe are going through the same thing, you know, and maybe it's the right move to have the hesitation, like not want to partner with someone. But like, what were you feeling? Like, why exactly? Like, what was it?
Man, to be honest with you, I was like, you know, like the gut feeling.
Yeah.
I was like, man, fuck, man. I think, and I know what also Bob could bring to the table. You know, a lot of stuff that was not me. You know what I mean? Like when I start to, I wasn't like the business owner that I'm today. You know what I mean? Like it was a process. You know, I hit my head on a wall a lot of times. You know. And Bob had a lot of experience, you know what I mean, like on the business side also, you know, besides being good at jiu-jitsu as well. He knew what's up, you know what I mean? Like, so I was like, man, I think he's the perfect fit for us, you know what I mean? Like, I think we can, how can I say, we can, you know, what I was missing, he was able to fit it in. You know what I mean? Like so that was like besides, you know, like I have a lot of respect for the guy, a lot of trust on him. So I think and the gut feeling, you know what I mean? Like I people ask him like, man, should I get a partner? I say, man, you know, it's a tough decision to do it, but it's really a marriage. You know what I mean? Like and I'll be honest with you, we have been together for like 12 years, whatever. We never had a fight, not even once. We never. Sometimes we don't agree. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that I don't agree, he make he make me agree later. It's like, oh, you know, you're right. But man, I think that's, you know, I think we have a good relationship since the beginning. You know what I mean? Like I always was like natural, easy. You know what I mean? Like we never had like I think he always, you know, like I'm down, he always bringing me up. You know what I mean? Like I think I do the same when he's down, try to always bring him up. We don't. Man, I just think it was a good marriage right here.
Let's talk about, like, let's go back just a little bit though. Like on the what were the reasons why you were like, I don't want to become a business partner? Not because of me, but just like your experience. Was it? And I want to talk about, again, for the people watching, right? Like sometimes people think I want 100% because it's all mine, or like if I give a partner, I'm giving up something. You know, like what was your thought around that?
I learned that from you. You know what I mean? Like I think it's tough to be nowadays. I think it's tough to be just you. You know what I mean? Like I think you gotta have, but like I said, you gotta have somebody that you trust. That, you know what I mean? That they're gonna bring something to the table. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what Bob did. He bring way over what I was expecting to the table. You know what I mean? Like, and that made it easy, our relationship. You know what I mean? I think we are very good friends, but we become even more better friends after we start to do business together. You know, like I learn a lot from him. I'm always learning. You know what I mean? It's like you know, even I change a lot, to be honest, because of him as well. The way that I see the business, the way that I do business, the way that I invest in my business. You know what I mean? Like I was like a one-man show pretty much at the time. You know, like, and I learned from him that you gotta delegate. You gotta put people in the right positions. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not only about you. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have a team. You know, and I truly believe when you learn those things and you start to trust in people as well. You know what I mean? Like to do their job. I think you know, the business changed the direction. You know.
About us not having like a fight ever. Like I was talking about this like on the drive down. Or the drive up, I should say.
Okay, can I say about and why, you know, like my old part, we had a totally different vision, and that stuff. When he has one vision, I have another vision, we start to, you know, go in different ways. You know what I mean? Like and I truly believe we have the same vision. You know what I mean? Like we know where we're going, and we know how to get there. You know what I mean? Like, so that makes easy as well. You know, I think we're on the same page always. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm not saying, you know, not always, you know, but most of the time.
Right.
You know, I think now we got the recipe.
Yes.
You know, to how to make it happen. Right. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of time. You know what I mean? Like, and I truly believe we have a better product than everybody else.
Again, my goal of today's video is to show, like, it's not that I was the guy that was creating the magic. It took like a partner to be receptive to understanding some things that we should change. And like, I didn't have any previous success in owning a gym. I just knew that we had something together that could make it better, and he was willing to listen. And I feel like that willingness for him just shows his strength as a leader. And so again, like, as much as you're going to see me talk about like, oh, San Diego gym or this or that, like, I'm not the guy, right? Like, the ability to see who are the stars of the show is something that takes it takes some like trust. And so also I don't necessarily need to be the front guy, because I'm not. And at the end of the day, he's the star. He's my professor. And so I feel like that's where a lot of people in his position have a hard time letting go of control. And so when you have a hard time letting go of control with your staff, number one, but also control of maybe some decisions, two minds usually can work better than one. And I think like that's where jiu-jitsu has to change. Is like, not that everyone needs a partner, but that we all could use some way of learning, you know. And I think jiu-jitsu, what keeps people down is they're like, no, I already know what I'm doing.
No, and I agree with you. You know, you gotta be open-minded. You know what I mean? Because it's easy. You know, if you're already doing business, have high school. You know what I mean? Like, and then to get somebody on board, and then man, you should do this way. Some people not gonna like it. You know, some people like, oh no, that's I'm a black belt, fifth degree. You know what I mean? That's my only way. And I'm always man, I love to learn. You know what I mean? Like so. And people say people don't change. I think people that don't change, they're dumb. You know what I mean? Like you gotta change if it's for the better. You know what I mean? Like I think you should change. You should be learning. You should be open-minded. You know what I mean? Like and that's I think our relationship it's that good. You know what I mean? Like we always here to help each other. You know what I mean? Like but he say he's not the but you know this guy. You know I think like I said I think. Together we make like a great team. I think that's the truth. That's the truth.
You know, I mentioned that when I first loaned him the money to do, again, it was only part of the gym. He had just sold his other piece of the gym from his previous partner, so he had a little chunk of money or a good chunk of money, and then he obviously was saving and doing some other things, so he had some money to start a gym. So when he came to me, it was more of just like to get the last piece of it, you know. So, and he would have done fine without it. But I think that first recognition when he came to me at that time, just to lend him the money without being a partner, was more. I knew as my professor my experience with him, and there's like, you know, it's the Maya Angelou quote I always talk about. Like people will forget what you say, they'll forget what you do, but you'll never forget. They will never forget how you made them feel. You know, so like that's the thing, the experience that I think everyone would say about him is like there's a element of the intangible, you know, and so not, and that's a learned skill, right? Like part of it is who he is, but that's a learned skill that he learned from other I guess people he's had experiences with as leaders and mentors and books and stuff that he's read. But my point is like my comfort level with him was that I saw the passion behind the gym. It wasn't a money thing, you know, and so like our dynamic is how do we help the most people? As a byproduct of that, we are then making more money, but that's never like really the goal, you know? So me knowing that his true intention was how do I change the most lives through jiu-jitsu was like, why wouldn't I want somebody to partner with in that way? And I think that at a jiu-jitsu level, that's very important to understand. But then when you think about like how people like Mark Cuban and Shark Tank and all of that, if you ever watch those shows, what they're doing is they're investing in the business, but they're investing in the owner. Like that's really what they're investing in. Like the product could be like incredible, whatever. If it's a widget, a service, that could be amazing. But if the operator itself is not, doesn't have that it factor, let's say, or that coachability, that like there's a lot of different things there. That's what they're investing in. So when they're investing millions of dollars into those things, it's about the leadership. It's not necessarily about the product. And so even like at a smaller level, like that's what I felt, you know? So I think that's kind of a takeaway from this video is that you have to have a real belief in that who you're going to partner with is doing it because they absolutely love it and they're gonna like give it everything, you know, with the intention of them having to be able to pull back a little bit and like, you know, live the life. And that's the end of the day, what I wanted for him was that he was doing the intros, he was signing up the clients, you know, signing the students up, putting the information in the computer. He kind of had a front desk person, but it was like they trained jiu-jitsu and they would kind of do it for free as a trade-off, or he'd pay minimum wage. And so I was like, man, like I love this guy. I want him to be able to step back and enjoy his life a little bit, you know? And so that's where my desire for him, of course I wanted to make money and do great things and own a gym. It sounds really cool. But at the end of the day, I wanted him to step back and be like, man, I actually have a business that like I'm not necessarily having to be everything for, you know? And so I think that's where, again, he had that trust and the foresight to say, this is worth risking to have a partner. Cause like, man, I want that for myself. You know, Johnny wants that for himself where he could like let the business run, you know, but that takes time to get comfortable with because most academy owners, they want to be involved in everything. And when you do that, you handcuff your people, you know, so which leads me to my next question. And you know, I don't know if we give enough credit. So we should do that now. But also, like, more importantly, how do you feel about understanding where personnel and people in the right places? Again, that can always improve for sure, including us as leaders, we can improve. But like, how important was that to say, you know what, it's worth it to pay a real manager, to have, you know, high level instructors that are worth it? Like, how did that change?
Huge. You know what I mean? Like, I learned that from Bob too, because, you know, I was very no, that's too much. Oh no, Bob, it was crazy. But I learned that you gotta spend money to make money. You know what I mean? Like, and that for me it was hard because I never had money. You know what I mean? Like, so for me to spend money that I didn't have at the time was like was crazy for me, you know. But every time we did it, it worked out.